What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ginger Chronicles. My name is Country, and with me, as always, you can see him right there, is my little mini ginger friend, Mr. Mark. How we doing, brother?
Man, I'm making it. Got me a little soda, get my energy levels up.
Show him that other energy drink you showed me earlier. Do a little plug real
Yeah,
quick. Free
pretty sure
plug.
most of y'all know what Rain is, the sugar-free energy drink. This is called a Rain Inferno. It's a new type they got coming out, and this particular one is jalapeno strawberry.
That sounds delicious.
It's
Uh,
something. Like it's not delicious, but it's not horrible.
right.
It exists.
Mm, that works. I've tried Rain myself. There's a few flavors I like, especially at work. Working all night, 12-hour shifts. A couple of those come in handy to keep me awake. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, everybody, I do want to apologize for not having an episode out last week. We did record one. However, when I went back to replay the episode, to make whatever edits I need to make to make sure the episode sounded quality good, my microphone sounded like total ass. I'm not gonna lie, it was cutting in and out the entire episode, or at least for the first 30 minutes that I listened to. And I realized it's time to invest in a better mic. So you can see that right here. This thing is amazing. I love it. I got it off Amazon. It is clear as day. Mark, I'm sure you can hear me clear.
Oh yeah. Much better.
So, but it's kind of disappointing because I feel like we had a really good podcast that we recorded. A lot of information, especially with what's going on in the world today with the death of George Floyd that was caught on camera. The four police officers at that time, only one had been charged when we recorded the podcast last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was right after the protest. Actually, I think it was we recorded the night of the first protest, didn't we?
Yes, we had actually, I think, shared the video while it
Yes.
was happening live.
But since then, quite a bit has changed. Of course, that night, chaos broke out in Nashville after the protest. The hooligans came out to disparage pretty much everything the protest was about. Luckily, quite a few of them, actually a lot of them got arrested. One of them, an idiot, in my opinion, straight up idiot. This guy who they caught him on camera setting fire to the courthouse without his shirt on. The dude had a record, so of course he had tattoos all over him. And the funny thing is, when you go to jail, they record every tattoo you have.
Oh yeah.
So this dude, I found an old article where he actually they arrested him before, him and his girlfriend, for doing heroin in the car, and they had their kids in the back seat. Now, if you want to go do drugs and ruin your life, by God, whatever, do whatever you want. But when you do it with your kids around you, you're just an extra scum piece of shit, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. I don't
Um,
even like drinking a beer around my nephews when they're over here. Much less doing some shit like that.
right. And I think it was in a Walmart parking lot. The cops rolled up on them. They're passed out in the car, drugs everywhere. Dude did 5 years in the pen. So he was already in the system. They caught him. Now he's looking at a arson charge and an aggravated arson charge. So he's going away for a good little bit, and rightfully so.
You know, you can't help but wonder if some people like that just they want to be caught.
I don't think they want to be caught. It's just they're stupid. Unfortunately, that's what happened that night in Nashville. It's like a lot of other cities that night and nights before. It was just chaos. But I am proud to say since then, last night, we had one hell of a peaceful protest downtown Nashville.
I saw a little bit. I didn't get to catch the whole thing. I did get to see a little bit on the news. I saw a bunch of a bunch of the protesters actually, talking to the officers and having a dialect with them, which is very, very good.
Yep. One thing I've noticed is a lot of the officers were actually joining in on the protest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. a lot of people hear, like, see something like this happen, and they automatically assume that people are dogging on the police, and that's not the case. There's actually a lot of really good police officers out there, a lot of honorable guys. I know quite a few. I've got some friends I went to high school with that are police officers, really good guys that, unfortunately, you do have the bad apples, you do have the undertrained, and it's not every police officer, but like I said, we have a lot of great police officers out there. But there are a few that unfortunately are out there that somehow still get a badge on their, on their chest and a gun on their side that should not be there to begin with. And now, luckily, we've got, all this technology and these cameras to root those out. I'm glad, that the charges on former officer Derek Chauvin have went up. They originally came out with that stupid third-degree murder charge. That is the dumbest thing. I mean, we don't have that here in Tennessee. That's a Minnesota thing. Very few states have it. It's a ridiculous charge. I'm sorry, if you kill somebody, premeditated is first degree. If not, it's second degree. Maybe depending on what happened, you can plead it down to manslaughter. But third-degree murder is ridiculous. So I'm glad they bumped his up to second-degree murder, second-degree manslaughter, and then charged the other 3 officers with aiding and abetting, which I did some research, and if convicted, all of them will be doing about the same amount of time in prison. I believe it's up to about 25 years or more. So, hopefully the justice system works. I mean, the video is point blank. I mean, the video is right there.
Oh, yeah.
You see Mr. Floyd, like, on his belly, handcuffed, knee to the back of his neck. You hear him screaming for his mama, a 46-year-old man crying for his mom, crying that he can't breathe. I mean, I teared up watching that video. It was heartbreaking to me. I mean, I don't see how someone can see that video and not feel some kind of way about what's going on in our world today.
I don't know. There's people out there that just, I guess, don't give a shit, or I don't know.
I believe that. I believe a lot of people who are, making their comments like on social media or whatever, of, getting offended, when someone they think all cops are being attacked, which is not the case at all. I don't think they've seen the video. I don't think they've taken the time to watch the video. I advise you to, if you haven't. I think it will change your outlook definitely, watching that video. You have other people, who want to bring up Mr. Floyd's past. Yes, he had a criminal record. Yes, he had fentanyl in his system. But that doesn't change the fact that he was murdered by law enforcement, clear as day. People out there that want to, try to chastise this guy now because of his past, or, I mean, they assume that he's a martyr. No, that's not the case. He's just the latest example of police brutality onto the African American population in our country. It's not that people are holding him up as a martyr for it. No, it's just the latest example. It's being ongoing. It's not stopped. It needs to be addressed. Something needs to change.
I mean, you can be nice all you want, but if you're not getting the results you need, then, I mean,
oh yeah,
you got to change it up. I tell you one thing that will help a whole lot with situations like this is, like you said earlier, not all cops are bad. There's bad apples, just like there's bad people.
Mm-hmm.
We need those good cops to start standing up and pointing out these bad cops.
Exactly.
I mean, you can be a good cop all day long, but if you're not doing anything to get those bad apples out, then, I mean, it doesn't help.
Well, a lot of them, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I don't know for a fact. I'm not a police officer. I don't hang out with police officers. But my opinion is that A lot of them, it's sort of similar to like the streets.
Mhm.
You'll hear people on the streets all the time say, "I'm not no snitch. I'm not going to snitch on anybody."
Oh, yeah.
Well, when it comes to being a police officer, it's a brotherhood. A lot of them won't come out against a fellow officer. And it's the same way on the streets. But then you have the few that will. A lot of them are probably scared too because of how much clout that bad apple might actually have, in the force. But then again, like I said, it's a great thing we've got cameras everywhere because
Oh, yeah.
cameras don't lie. The video does not lie. And I think the reason why a lot of the protesting, a lot of the unrest happened in Minnesota early on is because the DA waited. I mean, the video come out, and I don't know exactly the time frame, but they waited days before they even announced any kind of charges. It just seemed like they weren't going to do anything about it. Like, what happens normally. I mean, you've had you had a cop shoot what was his name, Philando Castile. Uh, his girlfriend was recording it live on Facebook. They got pulled over. I mean, you get cops do. It's those bad apples doing it right there and getting away with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it's on video. I don't know how you can get away with that. So hopefully, these four, they do face justice. By looking at the video, they're guilty. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The other three stood around while the main cop in the topic of discussion, sat there with his knee on the back of his neck, and even after he passed out, his knee was still on the back of his neck for an additional 3 minutes, and they didn't do anything to stop it. I just don't see how you could do that. I don't see how anybody could sit there
No.
and not do anything. I mean, even the ones recording it, the bystanders. I mean, you could hear people say, "Man, let him up, let him up." But I don't. I mean, I can't really answer. I wasn't in that position. I haven't been in that position. I would like to think that I would, if ever put in that position to witness something like that in person, I would like to think I would do the right thing and risk my own freedom to try to help that person out. But then again, I wasn't in that position. I wasn't there. I just saw it on video, like the majority of the rest of the country and the rest of the world.
Yes. I mean, we can, like you said, we can say all we want. Like, if I was there, would have done something. But I mean, we wasn't there. I will say one thing I've noticed. I've been not a whole lot of research, but I've been doing a little bit of research on different places, like how they're changing up their like some of the police training and stuff like that. And I think it was, I can't remember the province, but it was somewhere in Canada. Like their officers, it's mandatory for them to meditate for
Hmm.
I think like at least like an hour or two every day
Really?
to try to like, I guess like calm them down, make them focus better. As apparently like meditation, like it's supposed to like, I'm at a loss for words on. I just kind of get the bad like the stress out
Right.
and kind of like relax you a little bit. As I mean, not protecting them in any way, but the boys in blue, like it is a stressful job, no excuse, but we do need something, some kind of like extra training, more discipline, something like that for the officers.
Right. Because I mean, the amount of stress, I mean, they go through with their job. I mean, the amount of stuff they see and experience, knowing, I mean, leaving their house, knowing that there's a chance they may not come back home to their loved ones. I mean, that alone in itself is a lot to deal with. It's like the same way, like sort of like when you go to war, when you're a soldier, that type of stuff you see. I mean, you you can't. Um, it's normal for you for that be hard to process that. I mean, it's part of being human. So yeah, I'm with you on that. They need to find easier ways for the release. For uh, especially all the stuff they experience, like whether it be meditation, yoga, to clear, try to clear your mind, if that could even work. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't imagine some of the hardcore stuff they've probably seen out there in the field, dealing with tragedies, dealing with murders, dealing with, all the stuff that's going on in today's world, especially those bigger cities. I couldn't even imagine. We see like shows like Law and Order and these other shows, and just imagine that that looks pretty hardcore, and that's nothing compared to what it's really like.
Yeah.
So I respect the police. There's a lot of good police officers out there. We need them in our life, but we also need to root out the bad ones, and that's what's being done. Like I said earlier, one of the things that's really made me proud as an American, and made me happy to see, is the police that are actually taking the time to actually protest with these protesters, to engage in conversation with them, to show them, hey, we're here for you. We understand. We love you too. Because there's a lot of good ones out there. And unfortunately, like we said, it's true that the bad ones the bad ones for some reason overshadow the good ones. And that's an injustice as well. And it makes, like I said, it makes me so happy to see, instead of a lot of them getting irritated and mad about that, they're actually taking the high road and joining in with the protesters to let them know, hey, we love you, we care about you, and we're going to, hopefully that will make them call out the bad ones more. Get the corrupt ones out. I'm sorry, you can't be a protector of your community and a protector of society and also be corrupt.
Oh, yeah,
That's a politician.
Yeah.
And I mean, we need to root all that shit out of our society.
Yeah. If you have any kind of hatred for a group of people, you do not deserve that badge.
No, you don't I mean, if you have any kind of hatred for a group of people, period, you don't deserve anything, in my opinion. And especially if you hate somebody just because they're different than you, you are a lowest piece of scum on this earth, and
Agreed.
Zero respect for you at all.
I mean, there's just no point in it. We're all born into this shitty world that has so much shit going on already, between viruses and natural disasters and shit. There's too much shit already going on for us to not just fucking be nice and respect each other. It doesn't matter what color you're born or where you're born. Just be nice, be respectful. Don't fucking hate. There's just no sense in it.
Because I mean, hell, we're gingers, so we're automatically told all the time we have no soul as it is. So
I mean, I got brown blonde hair, so I mean, I got half a soul.
Well, other than that, how's your week? Well, how's your 2 weeks been? Because we didn't post that episode last week, so it's been 2 weeks since we've done a show, and this is our first actual video show. What's up, YouTube? So Mark, how's your week been? But how's your 2 weeks been?
It's been pretty decent. I haven't been working too much at the bar, but been working on my streams. Speaking of YouTube, I got me a terabyte hard drive on the way. I'm going to start uploading my streams to YouTube directly. Nice. Other than that, I mean, chilling with my nephews, trying to update my computer. Other than that, just been going pretty smoothly. How about you? Heard you got some pretty big news.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's about 3 weeks ago now. 3 weeks ago, we decided to put our house on the market. We decided, me and she's my girlfriend, future wife. Don't tell her. Yeah. But anyway,
don't watch this podcast.
Right? Don't see this. No, she knows. But we decided, you know, we've always wanted to move to Colorado. We love going out there. We love visiting Colorado. It's an awesome place. Always been interested in living there to see, you know, if we would enjoy living there. Anybody I've ever talked to from Colorado or that have ever lived in Colorado, they all say they wish they were still there. There are reasons why they're not. They wish they were still there. They loved it. So we, you know, I just happen to. I've got so many friends that are realtors on Facebook, you know, and I'm on Facebook daily, and I see all I see was people buying houses, and I'm looking, thinking, man, even with this all this COVID-19 stuff going on, people are still out here buying houses. So me and the girlfriend started talking, and we were like, you know what? Let's just put it up on the market. Let's see what kind of offers we get. If we get one we like, you know, let's just take this chance. And we were planning on having an open house tomorrow. Right now it is June the 5th. So June the 6th, we were planning on having an open house because when we planned this was last weekend. So at the time it had been on the market for 2 weeks. Got the open house scheduled, and I'm not even lying about this, man. I'm talking about within 2 days of even scheduling the open house, one of the previous people who had checked out the house alerted their real estate agent to alert ours, made us an offer for the asking price, which is amazing.
Yeah,
And
I don't think that happens too often.
no, it was only our second offer. The first offer, the lady offered us way too low. Was not comfortable. Even my bottom line, it was lower than the bottom line I would took. So we immediately shot that down. And her counter offer was just a little bit higher than that. So as our only real offer, these people apparently came the week prior. They loved it, and we got the news Monday night, this past Monday, um, that they wanted to know about our who our loan was through, and within a couple of hours, man, we had an offer on the table. I was at work. Been working at a warehouse, a liquor warehouse, doing shipments and stuff, loading trucks up with liquor and beers, and for all the bars and restaurants for the past couple of weeks. So I was at work doing an overnight shift, and the whole time the girlfriend's texting me, keeping me up to date. About before I even got off work that night, which was like 5 a.m. She had already had a contract signed, and we were under contract.
That's what's up.
So yeah, we closed on the 25th. As we're gonna hang out with family here and with some of her family in Arkansas, and then probably around 1st of July, man, we're gonna be in Colorado, heading to Denver.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be a really cool new adventure. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to get there. I always loved going to Colorado. I love the mountains. I love the weather out there. I love the dry heat. No humidity like here in Tennessee.
God.
That's so awful.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you to get out there. I've told you before, I'm here in about a year or two. I'm planning on heading up to Ohio, probably the Cincinnati area.
Right.
I've always had a special connection with Ohio. My biological father was a truck driver, and
Okay.
he'd always take me trucking with him. We'd always go to Ohio. He knew I loved the snow there, so.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I've been to Cincinnati, I've been to Cleveland, I've been all throughout Ohio. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan. It's not for me at all. I mean, but you know, it's not for everybody, but it is for some people. And you know, I hope that happens for you, my friend. You know, I hope you know get up there, you enjoy it, and you know have a life worth living that's enjoyable.
Agreed. Anything to get out of this damn southern heat.
Oh my God, man! I'm born and raised in it. You know, even though I'm wearing my Green Bay stuff, I'm a Southern cheesehead. I've been to Lambeau Field more times than I can count. I'm a huge Wisconsin fan. Not a fan of their wintertime, but I was born and raised down here in the South, especially Tennessee. I lived in Florida for 4 years, and to me, there is no hotter place to be in late July and early August than Tennessee. The humidity is over 100%. The temperature is over 100 degrees. And then we have the mountains here that make it just muggy. It
Yep.
sticks to you when you walk outside. Sometimes you can't breathe. You just run to get into your car, which is usually even hotter,
Yep.
just so you can turn on the air conditioner and pray that it actually cools quick. It's miserable, and I'm glad that I'm leaving just in time for that.
Yeah, you lucked out on that. You're you're getting the hell out of here before it gets real bad.
Oh, I can't wait, man. This is because I've been to Colorado in the summertime, and the one unique thing about out there is that it could be 100 degrees, feel like 70, and the nighttime, man, the temperature drops drastically at night. I remember the first time I went to Colorado, I was in Grand Junction, and back then I used to travel around and sell beer at concerts and sporting events. So I went out there for a country music festival that I was working. It was my first time ever being out there. We went to Grand Junction, Colorado. We were camping. During the day, I'm wearing sleeveless shirt, shorts. It was hot. I was loving it because it was dry heat. I was barely even sweating at all. But then the nighttime came, and nobody warned me how cold it gets in the night. Oh my goodness, man! I'm sitting there in my tent because we were camping, and I did it for some reason. I didn't think it was summertime, so I didn't think to bring any warm clothes with me. And I found out the true meaning of what they say. The phrase in Colorado is always carry a jacket all time of the year because you never know when you might need it. Man, it dropped so much that night. I had to leave, find the nearest Walmart that was open and grab me a hoodie or something because it was so cold. I mean, it went from feeling like 90 to 100 degrees to feeling like 30 at night. It was
I
that.
love that.
I would too if I had brought warm stuff. I mean, I was no lie, man. I'm sitting there in the tent, and all I had was like I'm that type. I put an air mattress in my tent. Now I'm getting older. I'm not about to sleep on the ground.
Oh yeah,
I take an air mattress. I don't care. So
I
I'm
got a
laying
fucked
on
up
it.
back already. So
Right, exactly. We're not as young as we used to be, especially me anymore. I'm getting almost damn near 40 now, well, a couple years away. But I'm gonna sleep on an air mattress, and I'm not gonna hurt my back on the ground. But man, it was so cold. I was sitting there just shaking, and I was like, I can't. I had to go find a hoodie. I went and grabbed me a hoodie, which barely helped. It's that drastic out there. But I found out the true meaning real quick. What they say in Colorado is always bring your jacket with you. You never know when you might need that sucker. So yeah, that's my good bit of news. Other than that, man, I've been working at the warehouse 12 hours to 13 hours a day, Monday through Thursday. Could have went in today for some more overtime, but my body's a little tapped out, so I was like, nah, I gotta be at the bar tomorrow. I work tomorrow morning down there at Rippy's. So if you're in the Nashville area, y'all come check me out tomorrow at Rippy's Honky Tonk down on Broadway in downtown Nashville. We will be open. We have been open. We do have live music again. Still can't sit at the bar, but hey, I'm not a bartender there. I'm a server. So you can always come sit at my table and chill with me. My buddy Mark right here, he's a busser there. So you work tomorrow morning or no?
tomorrow night.
So
You know they want me in those night shifts.
yeah, well, because you're one of the very few bussers, man, that actually, you can count on there. There's quite a few of them that are so lazy. Not all of them, but I mean, there's a few that are so lazy that a couple of them they got rid of. But you're the one of the very few they can count on that. It's a good hustler out there. Gets the job done. So I can understand them wanting you probably the busiest part of the night. When was the last time you worked?
Oh shit. Actually, I think it was last Friday.
How was it?
It was pretty busy. It wasn't like how it should be or how
Right.
it would normally be. Um, but it's getting better. I still think it's going to take another month or two for us to get back to normal, whatever normal is going to be for this
Right.
next year or so, because I don't think it's going to be normal for a while.
Right. Well, Mayor John Cooper of Nashville, he announced yesterday, I believe, that for right now, Nashville is going to stay in phase 2 of. There's 4 phases of reopening. Phase 2 pretty much was, bars and restaurants reopened at half capacity. That might have been no, that's phase 1. They allowed them to open
Yeah.
at half capacity. Phase 2, they're able to do 3/4 capacity, but they still had to, adhere to social distancing, 6 feet in between tables type stuff. No sitting at the bar. Able to have live music, just no dancing, no dance floors, unfortunately. So, with this little setback, they said the cases rose. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. You know, they're going to hold off on going for another 14 days. They're going up to phase 3. Man, I would like to say it's going to go back to normal. I don't see it going back to normal right now. Not what we know as normal.
At the very
Yeah,
least, not this year.
yeah, I don't either. I don't want to be pessimistic about it. I've been plenty of that over the past few months, but I mean, it's come out to be true.
No, I mean, it's a fine line between being pessimistic and just being realistic about it. I mean,
Right. I mean, I try to be more realistic about it, and it does come across as pessimistic a lot, but until there's an actual treatment available that works across the board, I do not see like for instance with the sporting events, like football be coming up here in August. I don't see fans being crowded into a stadium. The owners of the NFL teams can say all they want how it's gonna be back to normal. They don't get to make that call.
no.
It's the cities they live in that gets to make that call in the states, and I don't see them allowing that to happen. The main thing I think they're going to try to do is they're going to try to keep this second wave from being as catastrophic as as it has the potential of being. And the only way
Which
to
is a
do
smart
that,
move.
oh, definitely a smart move. I agree, definitely a smart move. I mean, if you look at the Spanish flu back in the early 1900s, that second and third wave was way more deadly than the first wave. So I agree with the social distancing. I don't agree that Nashville should stay in phase 2. I think we should move on to phase 3. Um, but then again, I don't see everything going back to pure normal until they have a treatment in hand. It's just I don't see these governments allowing it to happen. I may be wrong. They may just say fuck it all, and just do whatever. But we'll see what happens. We've got a little bit of a ways. I'll be in Colorado whenever it does go back to normal. But so it is what it is. But yeah. So what else you got on your mind for this week?
Shit. The only thing I got on my mind is doing some more streams, going to going to the bar, working, and just making sure my family's taken care of.
Tell everybody where they can find you for your streams.
Y'all can check me out at twitch.tv/Deathagus. That's DEATHAGUS.
And I've been trying to get him to do this, folks. He has yet to do it. I've been trying to get him to share his streams to our Facebook page so that y'all can actually, those of you that follow us on Facebook, I'm also going to put a link in our YouTube page as well for his streams so that you can follow Mr. Deathagus. Show him some love, watch him stream. I've been trying to stream a little bit more. Haven't had a chance. I really need to because I'm big into sports games. Right now, me and a group of my friends, we've been playing NBA 2K. And what we did was I want to say about 5 of us. We started our own league and we're about to go to the playoffs. We're about to be playing each other quite a bit. I'm gonna try to start streaming those because the banter back and forth. I'm sure a lot of people out there would get a kick out of. So everybody look out for that as well. I'll share that to our YouTube channel. There's one more thing I did want to talk about, Mark, and that is the SpaceX.
Yes.
The launch that happened last weekend. How amazing was that, man? I mean,
that shit was pretty fucking awesome.
I mean, it was. I mean, it was the first ever, mostly privately funded. Elon Musk, I mean, putting his money where his mouth is, and NASA, of course, was in conjunction with it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I mean, everything about that was, I mean, I'm so happy it was successful, and tell everybody, you told me a little story earlier about a little special present one of the astronauts took up.
Yes.
Hell, share that if you want to.
Let's see me. There is. Let me know if you can see that.
Nice. This looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah, little dinosaur plushie. And right here, you can see a little story of the astronauts. Bob Behnken, is that how you pronounce that?
Binkin, probably Binkin, probably like,
yeah, probably Behnken. But had a little dinosaur plush that they took with them, and I just thought that was adorable. I just like little shit like that. I'm weird, but I think they're actually selling that plushie now, like as a SpaceX plushie.
Oh, dude, that thing's going to go for a lot of money. That's going to go huge, especially with it being this whole thing is historic. I mean, this whole SpaceX launch is historic. They're not selling it for $25, are they? That thing's what you can buy that toy for.
Yeah, it's just you can buy the toy, the little plushie.
Are they actually going to sell that actual toy though, or just a copy of it?
I think just a copy of it. Okay. If anything, if they bring that back to Earth.
Oh, that thing right there, that actual one would be worth a lot.
Oh yeah. If anything, I'm pretty sure Elon's gonna have that, if not one of the astronauts. Because I think that might actually belong to one of the astronauts' kids.
Yeah, well, I'm looking. It says they both each have a son, and both boys are dinosaur enthusiasts. Before the flight, the boys gathered all their dinosaur toys together, and Tremor, which is that sparkly Potosaurus, was selected to accompany them to space. So, okay, so the boys came into this. So the sons decided to send that one. And I quote them. They said that was a super cool thing for us to get the chance to do for both of our sons, who I hope are super excited to see their toys floating around with us on board. I'm sure they would rather be here given the opportunity, but hopefully they're proud of this as well. That is something. I mean, you can go to school. I mean, I'm not sure how old their boys are, but they're in school. But you can go to school and be like, "Yeah, my dad got that's my dinosaur toy up in space with my dad right now." That's something really cool, man.
Right, and hopefully that will inspire some more of the younger generation to actually go into fields like this, because space is, I mean, it's space. It's amazing.
Exactly.
We need more people like to go into this field. We need more funding for stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I'm glad they're allowing private companies to do the funding for it. I'm glad the government's allowing someone like Elon Musk, to do the funding, so that the taxpayers don't have to foot the whole bill. And I believe we can get more exploration done with private funding. Of course, the government's still going to regulate. They're not just going to let these private companies run wild. I mean, that would probably be a little dangerous. But
oh yeah,
I'm glad they're going to allow. Hopefully, eventually, one of these days, man, they can finally get it to where an average person like me or you can, take a ride to space.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I doubt it's going to be in our lifetime, but
me too. You never know. You never know. But then again, like a couple weeks ago, when I actually talked my girlfriend into watching Back to the Future, and it was just Back to the Future series along with the Rocky series. That was my go-to as a child. I mean, if I'm flipping through the channels and I seen either a Rocky movie or a Back to the Future movie on TV, that channel stopped. That channel search stopped right there, and it don't matter if I'd watched it yesterday, the day before, I was going to watch it again. So going back and actually watching Back to the Future 2, and he goes to 2015 from 1985, and just seeing how far off we actually are from a lot of the technology that was predicted we'd already have. So yeah, I mean, in a way, I kind of agree with you. It may be past our lifetime before when they actually start sending normal, average Joe people like us to space. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I wouldn't mind. I'd definitely, if I could afford it, I'd definitely go up there.
Oh yeah. And if I'm like 80, 90 years old and we have the technology, send my old ass up there. Let me
Exactly.
die up there. Just fuck it.
Exactly. Hook me up to, extra like because they'll have oxygen, all this. Hook me up to whatever you got. To hook me up to. Let me go experience that.
Right.
Well, you got anything else you want to mention today, man? I feel like this is actually a pretty good podcast. I'm sure you can hear me a little clearer.
Oh yeah, much clearer.
Awesome.
I think that's all that I've got. Um, only other things I can mention is for any of our gamers out there, if you have the Epic Store launcher, every week they have a new game that's free. The past few weeks have been GTA 5 was free, Borderlands free, stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're more of a PC gamer, right?
At the moment, I am. I've been a Sony PlayStation fan for since I was a
Yes.
child. I still
Yes.
my PlayStation's right there, and I am super fucking excited about the next gen consoles coming
Oh, the
out.
PS5, man.
Yes, which I will be getting the day it releases, if not the day after,
Oh,
because
we will too. We
yeah,
will too. We've already, me and my girl, she's a gamer. She's actually better than I am in a lot of the games. It's weird. I mean, like Fortnite, she kicked. It's funny because and I'm trying to get my buddies and stuff that we game with, and we're gonna get her one. Trying to get all of them to get a PS4 camera. I've got one. They don't, because man, she will save our ass all the time, especially on a game like Fortnite. My girl will save our ass. It's comical. I mean, just I thought about creating a stream just for me and her, because she'll save my ass and just talk shit to me the entire time, and I'm sitting there like getting emasculated by her, just like, what can I do? I mean, she's good at it. That's another thing I'm hoping to start soon, is like, because one thing I do love about Twitch, and I'm sure you've known is about Twitch, is that they allow you to have those multiple streams connected at the same time, which is pretty cool.
it is very simple to do multi streams and watch 3 or 4 people at the same time. I think everyone in the multi stream gets view count. You can just only be in one chat at a time, so you have to actually manually go in and select which chat you want to be a part of. But it's really simple.
Awesome. Well, that's about all I have for today. You have anything else for the people?
Um, no, not really. Just be respectful to each other. Be kind.
Exactly. Be
Don't fucking
respectful.
hate.
Exactly. Love each other. Stop the hate. Be respectful. Any of you out there, I'm hoping y'all are enjoying the podcast. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching on YouTube, follow us. Hit that follow button. If it's on Spotify, if it's on Google, if it's on Apple Pod, wherever you're listening right now, please subscribe. Please comment. Shoot us an email, the Ginger Chronicles at yahoo.com. Go to our Facebook page. You can find us under the Ginger Chronicles. It's right there on Facebook. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think of the podcast. We do read the comments. And also, we would be happy to have people on for an interview. If you feel like you've got an interesting story, or you got a topic you want to discuss, message us. The great thing about how we do our podcast, it's all remotely done. We use the Zoom meeting technology. So even when I moved to Colorado, me and Mark right now, we both live in Nashville, but we still don't meet up anywhere to do this podcast. We do it remotely. So when
Super
I'm
lazy. I don't like to leave the house.
right, me too. Super lazy and got to leave. So when I moved to Colorado, it's not going to change at all. Um, I'm hoping, we can continue to bring y'all weekly content without having to skip a beat. Unfortunately, like last week, had microphone issues, but hey, got it fixed. Around the end of the month, though, beginning of July, there may be a little bit delayed because with me moving and stuff like that, it may take a minute to get reset up. Bear with us on that. Luckily, I've run most everything off my laptop. I'm in the process of building me a new PC, so I can still pretty much set up and go. So we're still going to try to figure out a way to. I might do a podcast on the road. Who knows? I guess that's going to be it for the day. That's pretty much all I got. Mark, brother, I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow in between our shifts or whatever on the crossover part.
You know me, I'm always early.
Exactly. And that's about all we got for today, y'all. I hope everybody out there has a great weekend and stay safe and be respectful. Love y'all. Thank you very much.